I hope everyone doing well. So let's begin today discussion. First of all, let's pay our homage to our teacher, Supreme Buddha. Say with me. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May our homage to our teacher Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends. Today I was thinking about sharing with you next meditation in the Satipatthana Sutta. So, friends, that sutta is about the meditation on our postures. So, we will study that meditation. Before that, now I'm going to share with you some uh, teachings on this meditation. Actually, when we develop a meditation, normally that we see that our mind is wandering. So in such a situation, how can we handle that? So, and also how can we know if the meditation getting success? So for an example, let's think, my friends, we are doing the breathing meditation. So in that particular moment, our object of the meditation is our in and out breath. Okay. So now while we are doing this meditation, so the first hindrance that enters to the mind is called the sense desire. So we learned about the sense desire in detail. And what does this mean, the sense desire? Actually, the sense desire means we have an ongoing desire for the pleasure of the sense objects. We wish that there will be a attractive sight, there will be attractive sound, smell, taste, or touch that will come to me and uh, make my mind happy. So there is such a desire in the heart. So that is actually the range of our mind. Normally, it seeks for the enjoyment. So the mind's domain for seeking the enjoyment is the sense pleasures. Now, if the meditation getting success, if we are doing the meditation well, we should experience less distractions from the sense desire. Normally, when people say, while I'm meditating, my mind is wandering, it is actually the mind's wandering into this object of the senses. We remember them, like we, even if it is in the past or something is going to experience in the future, our mind make such a distraction by being on the sense desires, pressure of the sense objects. So when the meditation getting success, we reduce this strong current of sense desires. Actually, this is the same mind that we were having during our other activities. It is not just exclusively enters to our mind as a wandering while we are meditating, but it is the same mind that we had during our ordinary activities while we are working, while we are driving, studying, doing shopping, whatever we are doing. We have such a mind, but when we sit down, we experience this strong current is continuously flowing into the mind and distracting and blocking the peace of mind, and it blocks enter into the breathing meditation. Now, if we are continuously apply our mind into this in and out breath, if we are very good with that, so for sure we need this ardent energy. We learned about that RTP. So we need such a increased energy to pull the mind back from the wandering thoughts, the sense desires, and apply it to the breath. So there should be such a strong energy within us. So if we doing it correctly, if we doing it um, very well, so the that distractions fade away gradually. So your mind is enters to the stillness, your mind getting more and more peaceful. So that is how we know my meditation is getting success. So you lost sometimes you lost like the outer distractions, like the external distractions during the meditation, if it is getting success. And you get to know more and more clearly about your flow of in and out breath. So that is your meditation object right now. So when you're doing that, you get more and more uh, sensitivity towards the in and out breath. And that's how you surpass the domain of these sense pleasures, sense desires, and reach to the domain of the meditation. Now, actually, the Buddha normally gives us some knowledge that we need to go back again and again to that knowledge of the Buddha regarding the sense desires. Now, normally, so our mind is so much attracted to the sense pleasures, and it brings us distractions, and this restlessness is also a byproduct of these sense desires. So our mind, reason why our mind is restless is because we stimulate our senses, and that's how we enjoy the sense pressure. So we create uh, so many thoughts around the sense pressures, and that's how we enjoy that. Now, Buddha give with Buddha's knowledge to think about these sense pressures in a certain way. So that knowledge, if we reflect according to that, we can reduce these distractions of the sense desires. Now, normally, because of the ignorance, because the beings are enveloped by the ignorance, when the beings are wandering in the samsara, now the Buddha say that ignorance thinking has a kind of a view towards the sense pleasures, that it has a higher enjoyment but less suffering. But when the Buddha teach, Buddha say it is the other way around. It is the other side. Buddha say the sense pleasures has a less gratification but much more suffering. As soon as we correct this distortion that we were with the ignorance, our mind stops wandering. Our mind comes to the peaceful state. Buddha says, see correctly at the sense pleasures that it carries a considerable suffering, let's say pain, and less gratification. The reason why, it is the way that it is. Like, it is not something that Buddha taught hating the sense pleasures of the, like the worldly pleasures. No, it is how that it exists. Now the Buddha say sense pleasures has a less gratification, less enjoyment, and much more pain. So when we correct that our view, So the mind start to stop wandering. It gradually reach to the peace. Now the Buddha say the reason why it has a pain is because that it is changing. Now every moment our sense pleasures, our agreeable sights, the sounds we hear, smell, taste, touch, these are actually in a constant flux of changing. But we are, because of the enjoyment that it brings us, we keep continuously fixing our mind into the part of the enjoyment. We keep sending our mind, our consciousness, to the part of the enjoyment. So it brings us the enjoyment, but in the same time, it's changing. So how we enjoy the sense pleasure is that we create, like we fantasize the thought about that object which brings us the happiness, and we keep continuously thinking about that. So this has this enjoyment. This shape is like this, the color is this, and the taste is this. So when we fantasize the thoughts, even though the object that we gain the happiness is changing, our sense, our happiness that we are creating in the mind won't stop. So Buddha say that is why our body burns. That is why our heart burns. That is why mind distracts. That's why mind wanders. Because we are making so many thoughts around these sense objects. For an example, let's say there is a food, so we create sense pleasures around the food, even though the food changes, so we cannot let go the thoughts that we created. So now, when you see the sense pleasures as it is, so your mind brings so much, come to so much peaceful state. Now the Buddha say, even nowadays, our teachers, our elders teach us before you start your meditation, even it is breathing or any other meditation, take some time and try to think about the nature of the sense pleasures. So how much this has this pain. It doesn't make you any sadness because it is the correct knowledge that we gain towards these sense pleasures. So it is much more uh, enlightening yourself. It is your chance to see the complete picture of the sense pleasures. So then, even actually by thinking about this way, doesn't break your relationship or the direct happiness that you receive from the sense pleasures, but you can abandon these distracted thoughts that it carries. So now the Buddha say sense pleasures should be seen as a skeleton. Now the Buddha says skeleton. One day there was a dog. So the one day the because of the starving, the dog was searching for food, and there was a butcher and took a piece of like skeleton covered with the flesh, but the butcher removed the flesh and just threw this skeleton at this dog. So because of the starving, so the dog took it from its jaws and took it to somewhere else and started to eat the skeleton. But the more that the dog tried to eat the skeleton, it doesn't, because it doesn't have the flesh. So the dogs uh, couldn't overcome the hunger. So the same way, Buddha say this should be seen with the sense pleasures. So it has a little gratification, much more suffering, much more pain. So again, Buddha said there was a hawk. So the hawk took a piece of flesh, and the other hawks also saw this. The first hawk is taking the flesh, and then the other. So the hawk started to escape. So the other hawks started to follow this first hawk, and trying to strike the hawk which is holding this the flesh, in order to let the hawk to release that flesh. The same way Buddha say the sense pleasures is very common to all. It's very common to everyone, the agreeable things, even though that we possess. So the others also like it. So others also have craving towards the sense pleasures. So here in this simile, the sense pleasure is like the flesh. So the Buddha say you should see it like that. So the mind come to a peaceful state. Now, when you meditate and when you focus your mind to this in and out breath, so your mind brings, let's say you successfully do that, so your mind brings peace of like peace, and your mind come to a so much peaceful state, and it brings clarity, and it brings so much calmness to your mind. Now, in this moment, your mind start to experience this peaceful state that never ever had before, because we were enjoying sense pleasures with the scattered thoughts, but now the meditation brings you inspiration, because this clarity brings you much peaceful environment in your heart, other more than these distracted thoughts coming from the sense pleasures. Now that inspiration brings you more and more motivation, more and more pursuit towards the in and out breathing. It brings you towards the meditation. So the meditation brings more and more enjoyment than the sense pleasures. And that's how you escape from the sense desire during the meditation. So then the highest happiness compared to the sense pleasures and the meditation, peace of mind, is the highest happiness is the peace of mind. We like to be living in the present moment. We like to live at peace. We don't like to be distracted by the past, and we don't want the anxiety of the future. So if the meditation getting success, so our mind naturally incline to the meditation, and we see less distractions coming from the sense pleasures, sense desires. And for that, not only the breathing meditation, but we must have a correct knowledge about the sense pleasures. Now, that's why normally when a person reaches to the first jhana, first level of concentration, it teaches us that the first level of concentration is surpasses all the sense desires, sense pleasures in the world. So no matter the sense pleasure exists in the world, whatever the food exists in the world, whatever the sight, whatever the sound exists in the world, so every happinesses that is entering through the senses will overcome by the meditation. So if we enter to the first jhana, it says vivicheva kamihi, which means devoid with sense pleasures. So you don't have any sense pleasures in that moment. Here the sense pleasure means these is scattered thoughts, the fantasizing of the thoughts. So you won't have such distracted thoughts inside the first jhana. So your mind is very well focused to the breath. So you won't find such a happiness from externally. There is no such a thing, such an object to bring such a happiness, because it start to bring you more and more enjoyment inside because of this successful meditation. Now, friends, that's how we can abandon the sense desires. So I hope it makes sense. I'll go to the next meditation in the Satipatthana Sutta, friends. And again, before going to that part, so I'll explain another topic right now about the meditation. Now, there is something called, uh, actually, I found this English word. It is a scientific term. It is, as I understood, it is a neuroscientific term that they explain about this, the feeling. Um, I will share this term. It is very difficult to pronounce to me. Uh, Proprioception. Proprioception. Okay. Proprioception. Have you heard about that? Proprioception. Okay. This is how it explains. Proprioception is the sense of body position and movement. It is a subconscious process that helps you know where your body is in space without relying on sight alone. Proprioception. Now, friends, now let me put according to how the teachings tells about this. Now, when we meditate, let's say we meditate on the breathing, over time, we will get a moment that we can easily be aware about our body, which means even though we close our eyes, we feel a sense of uh, our bodily behavior, the bodily position, how we handle our body. It is not necessarily seeing through your eyes, but you feel that. It is called bodily awareness, or perhaps when you close your eyes, I normally say, make a mental picture about your body through your mind's eye. So there is such a mental picture that we can create after we close our eyes. Again, sometimes it is says in the easy English, it is actually the bodily map. Or again, I found a body schema, which means you close your eyes, but you still can be fully aware about how your body lies. So when you meditate, you can gradually create this kind of sense around your body. It's a kind of a bodily awareness. And that support, when you go out from your cushion to your ordinary life, with the support of that awareness, you can carry your mindfulness wherever you go. As long as you keep focusing, as long as you focused to your body, even though you are doing your ordinary activities, you can bring your sense of awareness together with you. You can take it with you. So that is called this proprioception. So which means the bodily awareness. Now this idea is aligning with the next meditation I'm going to share with you. So this is in this Satipatthana Sutta. This is called Iriyapata, the postures. Iriyapata. Now the iriya means our postures. Pata means the way. So the way of our postures. This is that meditation. Iriyapata meditation. Now the Buddha say, Punacha param bhikkhave bhikkhu gacchanto va gacchamiti pajanati. Tito va titom hiti pajanati. Nisinno va nisinnom hiti pajanati. Sayano va sayanom hiti pajanati. Now let's see the English translation. Again, monks, when walking, a monk understands I'm walking. This is the first guideline by the Buddha. This is the instruction. Buddha say when the practitioner walking, the practitioner understands I'm walking. Normally, let's say a person was in the sitting posture, then they will come to the standing posture, and then let's suppose they are walking. So then they understands, I'm walking. Understands means now you send a beam of awareness through your posture in order to get this object of posture as your meditation. You send like a powerful awareness through your bodily movement. So you completely understands in that moment what you are doing. say that you are walking, you completely try to completely understand how you walk. So you understand, I'm walking. This doesn't necessarily mean that you are thinking sense desires. You are not following the sense desires, but you completely put your awareness, you completely put your mindfulness to the walking posture. You walk and you mindfully walk. Again, this is not a deliberately walking, but you just simply focus your mindfulness to this process of walking. When standing, he understands, practitioner, he or she understands, I'm standing. When sitting, the practitioner understands, I'm sitting. When lying down, he understands, I'm lying down. Okay. Now, how many postures were there? First, when one walks, they understand I'm walking. Second, when one stands, they understand I'm standing. Third, when one sitting, they understand I'm sitting. Fourth, when one lay down, they understand I'm laying down. Four postures. These are the four basic postures in our life. These are the most like the basic postures. Else we will stand, else we will sit, else we lie down, or else we walk. Now, each and every posture, you try to understand just as it is. You don't let your mind to wander, but you bring it back and you calmly observe this way of your body. So you understand how the way that your body lies each and every moment. So this is that meditation. It is very simple meditation. You just try to be focused with your bodily postures. Now again, in the next part of the sutta, the meditation would say, Yata yatava panasa kayo panihito hoti tata tatanam pajanati. He understands accordingly however his body is disposed. Yata yatava panasakayo. However the body is placed, tata tatanam pajanati. He understands according to that way. However the way body, you understand it. So in this case, now right after the four postures, sitting, walking, laying down, and standing, there are some uh, transitioning postures. Let's say that one was sitting. Now, after the sitting posture, let's say the person was doing the breathing meditation. So then he decide, okay, I should pause my meditation and I should have a walk. So then from the sitting position, this person stand up. So the first posture was the sitting and the second posture was the standing. Now in between, there is this transitioning moment. There is this little postures in between the four main postures. So that person understand even that subtler postures, that transitioning postures. That's why Buddha say he understand accordingly however his body is disposed. Let's say you are working, so while you are working, let's suppose you are working at a restaurant, so perhaps you might have to carry the dishes and serve the plates. There is in this process, in this activity, there is a play of our postures. Now in this meditation, you try to be focused to these movements of your body. So you try to grasp all these bodily movements. And that's why it says one understands. So you understand you get all the details of the bodily movements, not necessarily the physical body, like the physical sensations in the body, which means if you were to feel any tiredness, you don't follow that feeling, that sensation, but you simply try to be focused to the posture itself, the way the body, the way the posture lies. So that is why Buddha say he understand accordingly however his body is disposed, which means there is no any opportunity to let go your mind out from the postures. You keep immersing yourself again and again to understand each and every posture. Let's suppose you are driving, so you can be fully focused to the movements of your uh, bodily postures while you are driving. There is a way that you handle your body, you handle your movements of your body. So you fully understand all of these movements, and you don't let your mind wander externally, but you try again and again to remain with the postures. So that is this meditation of postures. Let's go back to the starting part. Buddha say, Punacha param bhikkhave bhikkhu gacchanto va gacchami iti pajanati, tito va titomi iti pajanati, nisinno va nisinnom iti pajanati, sayano va sayannom iti pajanati. In English, again, practitioner when walking, a practitioner understands I'm walking. When standing, understands I'm standing. When sitting, understands I'm sitting. When laying down, understands I'm laying down. Yata yatava panasakayo panihito hoti tata tatanam pajanati. He understands accordingly however his body is disposed. No matter however the body lies, you understand all those movements. So if you do this successfully, your mind becomes still. Your mind will be still only with the postures. So you will not have any sense desires in your mind at that moment, but all you have is this complete understanding about your postures, how your body moves, how it makes new movements, how it releases from the previous movements and come to the new movements, how your body act, how your body react. So you get complete uh, understanding about the way your bodily movements take place. And it has, along with that, it has an enjoyment thanks to the concentration, thanks to the peace of heart. You get some mindfulness. And now because your meditation is getting success and it brings you inspiration to yourself, and you feel so much joy in your heart because of this posture meditation, you don't find any distraction externally. No matter whatever you see, no matter how much it's attractive, no matter how much the sound is attractive, or no matter how much taste of the food is attractive, your mind doesn't go there and latch into it. You will sensitive to the feeling which brings the feeling the food brings. You feel happiness, but you don't have this distraction from the sense pleasure, because it has much more enjoyment by being with the movements of the body. Now, there are meditations in the teachings that when a person consumes the food, that they can focus their mindfulness to the movements of the body, how they mix the food and how they take the food into their mouth and how they chew. and how they take the water cup from the other hand, and how they wash the plate. So they can become fully aware about this process of the movement of the body so that they can be fully present. After the person in the food, and when they go back to the monastery, when the practitioner, the Buddha's time, the monks, when they practice the meditation, when they go back to their monastery, they don't have any trace of the people that they saw, the food that they ate. They don't have any, like, the distracted memory, like when are we gonna eat such a food in the future. So they just live it there because they were in the present moment while they were consuming the food. Again, it is said that in some of the teachings that the monks who practice this meditation in the previous lives, like in the other Buddha's dispensations, other Buddha's orders, so when they did that successfully, if they die without getting any successful attainment, when they reborn in another place, in another life, they mostly become Pacceka Buddhas, which means the personal Buddhas, private Buddhas, which means they are not like the Samma Sambuddhas, like the Buddhas that we went for refuge. The Buddha we went for the refuge is a Samma Sambuddha, but the personal Buddha, private Buddha was a Buddha, they themselves awaken, but they don't teach the teaching. They don't have any disciples. They only have a secluded life. Now, the monks who did this meditation in a previous life, when they reborn in a age where there was no Buddhas, so because of the merit that they collected and as well as the knowledge they developed in their previous life, they immediately attain enlightenment. They immediately awaken because they did this meditation. So this is such an interesting and beautiful meditation. And this is also the meditation out from the cushion. So you can carry your mindfulness wherever you go if you do this meditation. And again, the monks, how they did to become a private Buddha in a previous lives. Actually, that's not the goal of the teachings. The goal is the awakening in this very life and to break through into the Four Noble Truths. That's the purpose of the teaching. But this is really interesting. In the commentaries, it says that the monk take the alms bowl, uh, going for the alms round in the village. Before he taking the alms bowl in his kuti, in his chamber, in his room, he placed the alms bowl in his hand by thinking that I will practice this posture meditation from now on, and whenever that I go outside and when I interact with the people and I collect the food and I will finish my food and I come back to my room, up until then, I will go with this posture meditation. So that is the suggestion. That is the strong determination they make. And they start to go to the alms round in the village to collect their food. And they collect the food and they go there to the village with a focused mindfulness towards the posture. So they know all the movements of the postures up until that they enter to the village and during their collection of the food. And when they go to sit down under a tree and eat the food, and when they come back to the monastery, they come back with the same posture meditation. And when they leave their alms bowl in their room, that's when they abandon that meditation. Up until that, they always do this meditation, posture meditation. So yes, even with our activities when we do, so we can develop this meditation. We can train ourselves to do this meditation with our day-to-day activities. And amazingly, this meditation can bring you peace of heart, and that peace of heart brings you so much relaxed body. And also, you will be free from any pain in your body while you're working. If you are very good at developing this meditation, if you are very good at grasping these postures in your day-to-day activities, you will feel less tiredness because mind becomes still. And while you are doing your work, suppose you are doing the dishes, your focus will be so much refined to the activities you are doing. And also, you will have a very planned, systematic work. Let's say you are working on doing the dishes. Let's say you can do it very clearly and very precisely without any distractions because you are in that specific moment. And again, Buddha say the monks, the enlightened beings, after doing this meditation, their postures become so smooth. Their postures will be so much smooth. Whoever see brings so much pleasantness. So the postures become so much smooth. And it says in a simile, it is like the oil that someone is putting down from a bottle or honey or something. So when that honey and the oil is dropping, it has a very smooth flow. So the same way the person who does this meditation has a smooth flow of the postures. It's not like throwing a water, but when a person put the oil or honey, it has a smooth flow. Their postures become such a flow. And this is not again a deliberate thinking. I mean, sometimes I have seen the people when they are doing the posture meditation, they look so automatic, they look so robotic, which means they are trying to do it forcefully. They are trying to do it deliberately. But that is not how this teaching say. The teaching say you understand whatever the movement exists in your body, whether you're standing, walking, sitting, or lying down. You understand all of this. Now the problem comes from the sense pleasures. The distraction comes from the sense pleasures. Let's say a person is addicted to too much screen time. Let's say they are checking the smartphone or they are checking the notification too much. That is sense pleasure. That distract being with the posture. Let's say that person is so much distracted externally for the other things, sight, sound, smell, taste. So that can be a hindrance to the meditations. So first, there will be a challenge, but over time, because of the inspiration the meditations gives you, so you will find much more easier approach to the meditations. So that's why Buddha say one need to understand all the postures. So how you know your mind is getting successfully entering to the posture meditation is that your postures become calmer and you feel more relaxed. No matter how hard is the work, if you do it with the meditation of the postures, you feel more relaxed in your body. You don't feel tiredness because the first jhana doesn't have a tiredness. So, yes. Okay, friends. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sent me this saying about this proprioception is awareness of body in space without reliance on senses. Yes. Muscles give signals to your mind without sensors involved. I'm a scientist, you explained it well. Thank you. So, yeah, even when we doing this breathing meditation, so the breathing meditation also brings us some level of this proprioception. In the Dhamma, it says that you become so much aware about your movement of your body. So, yes, yes, I hope it made sense. the clarity you gained will never lost if you practice this posture meditation out from your sitting posture. Yes.
Bante, okay, so you talk about, being mindful and present when it comes to like the sitting and the walking meditation and the other two. Um, does that technique apply to your day-to-day life too? So let's say you're driving,
Yes.
you're mindfully driving, you're going along, but then someone honks at you or, someone's not being patient with you, but you're trying so hard to be present. I'm driving, playing it safe, going to work, and then you have all these people on the road just are in a rush and they're like crazy.
Yeah. Well, getting angry, I don't think that
No.
will benefit that. No. So first, protect yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
first, you think, uh, let's say you were doing that with your focused postures, and then you get angry. So in that moment, you pause the meditation on the postures, and you start to cultivate loving kindness. So then, loving kindness will remove you from the angry thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So then you will again start to feel this posture. If you do it with mindfulness, you naturally come back to your posture.
Okay. Thank you, Bante.
Yes, you're welcome.
Bante, can you elaborate more on the walking meditation? Like, how can somebody do it? Like, let's just say somebody's trying to can just go on a walk, and can they do it then?
Walking meditation goes much more beyond like this posture because sometimes walking meditation can be practiced with loving kindness. You can walk and you can do loving kindness in the same time. But the posture meditation is that you only become mindful with your movements of your body. So you don't necessarily need to think something, but you need to be fully aware. Like you try to understand the way of your bodily movements. Does that make sense?
So is it like how you place your feet while you walk, like
Uh,
looking down?
did you find anything like that in this sutta, Satipatthana Sutta? No.
No, no.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, I was kind of like asking like how do you exactly do it? So it's being aware of your entire posture, like everything, not.
Yeah. Well, how one of my elder Bante taught me this was that the Bante said, like, as soon as you wake up, you put your feet on the floor. So do this with mindfully. Like if you can, as soon as your feet touches the floor, think, I will mindfully observe all my postures during my day. That kind of suggestion can help you, but not necessarily thinking that left, right, or something. You just get the object as your postures. Does that make sense? You can think like we did with the breathing, like we did. We think I'm breathe out by words. We thought like that in order to be mindful with the breathing, even though that is not the correct, that is not the how the Buddha taught. Because that we are mostly like distracted. That's why it's very difficult for to understand. Um, but if we can think like in this moment I'm sitting, that kind of a thinking of a word will invite you to observe your body, how it placed. A word would help you to think, to enter to this awareness of the posture. Like we say that you're walking, but well, there are some traditions teach that you should think, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So I don't like to share that one because that's not aligning with the teaching. I mean, like the Buddha doesn't say to think. Uh, if you can spend some time in a retreat, 2 3 days, so I think you might build up such a mental image of your bodily movements. like mental, like a map of your bodily awareness, because you are reducing the power of the hindrances. Um, Otherwise, so it can be difficult. Yeah. That is why also those techniques was invented. As the time goes by, new techniques, shortcuts were invented, and that's what is flowing to the future as the teachings. So then the listener would like um, take that as the teaching. So yeah, think about the Buddha's qualities. That is a very good meditation, contemplating of the Buddha's qualities. So yeah, before you are doing walking meditation or before you are doing any meditation, try to think about the Buddha's qualities. So that serene the mind and that support to observe the postures. Or else you can do loving kindness. But I recommend the Buddhanusati meditation. Yes.
Thank you, Bante. I'm not clear. So when I'm sitting here and listening to you and
Yes.
teachings of the Buddha,
Yes.
does that mindfulness of the movements of my body apply? And do I, at the same time as I'm listening, do I try to be aware of the movements of my body and be mindful at the same time?
Yes, you can do. But right now, because we don't have much space through the mindfulness, because we don't have much mindfulness, so we cannot clearly listen and be aware about the bodily movement, uh, your sitting posture. It appears to you, it appears to me that when I'm teaching and when you are listening, so you are in sitting posture, I'm in sitting posture, but we won't feel that because that our limited heart, we don't have this uh, increased mindfulness. If we were, so we would have much more space, and you can even like think like you become aware, so that is the mindfulness, right? So you become aware and you get much more space over the observation of your body, how it lies, and in the same time what you are receiving through your ear and what you are listening. So you become uh, knowledgeable, like you acknowledge all of this, the situation, what's going on in this present moment in a very advanced level. So you have opportunity to see all the movements of the body together with its impermanence. You see, oh, my body, every movement shows you impermanence. Let's say that I snap my fingers. So this also, that movement also brings you the knowledge of impermanence. Actually, this breathing meditation and posture meditation interconnected. If you do the posture meditation, you become more easier to observe your breathing. And if you do breathing meditation, it becomes more easier to observe your postures.
Okay.
Yeah. Striving. Yeah, that's the key, striving.
Thank you,
Yes.
Bante.
Yeah, Namo Buddhaya Bhante.
More
I was just thinking also like the walking meditation
Yes.
is like, but all the meditations is like kind of staying in the present moment, like
Yes.
being in the present moment. And
Yes.
because when I try to do the walking meditation, I try to sense where my feet are. Like, I sense when I step on the floor and I
Yes.
put like trying to see all the movements I'm doing with
Yes.
the feet. Is that the right way to do it? Like I can sense when my heel is touching the floor and I sense when my toe is touching the floor, like
Yeah.
walking like that and be in the present moment.
That's okay. That's to do that way is okay, I would say, because um, you first become sensitive to your body before you enter to the postures. Because all of a sudden, when I'm say posture, be mindful about the posture. First, you get into the body, and then next you can observe the underlying posture with that, with the body. In a way, like you said, you mentioned about the sensitivity to the feet that
Yeah.
when it touches. So there is a feeling,
Yeah.
but that is a feeling of the physical body touch with the flow. But that is not the meditation of the posture, but it is exactly the understanding about how the way the body lies.
Yeah, because it's like you stop like in between before you do the next step, but it's for me it's like you stay in the moment, right? You are
Yes.
just sensing. It's body awareness, right? Like you are aware where your body is somehow, right?
Eva, that's how about Bante Verakiti when we do walking meditation Sundays sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what he teaches us, right? He's like he will be guiding us, and he's like, as you lift your heel up and you put your feet back down, the other feet like one at a time. But Bante Verakiti teaches.
Yeah. Okay.
To
Now
do
do this
the work.
practice. My friends, could you please do this practice? Only will take 2 minutes. I would say to you, know, understand. Now you are sitting. Can you understand that? You are sitting. You just fully enter to this posture of your sitting. You are not continuously thinking anything, but you're just fully aware about this sitting posture. That's how one of Bhante taught me about that meditation. Okay, friends, we share the merits. May all the devas rejoice in our merit. By the power of this merit, may all the devas attain the peace of mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May they kindly protect and guard my friends while they are practicing Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And may departed relatives rejoice in our merits, and may they be able to attain the peace of mind. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May my teacher Bhante and all the other Bhantes rejoice in this merit, and may they be able to realize the Four Noble Truths. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May all my friends, together with their families and their friends and all their teachers, rejoice in this merit. May they have happiness in their lives. And by the power of this merit, may my friends live long, be healthy, and be wealthy, and may all your dreams come true. And by the power of this merit, may you soon able to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends.
Thank you, Bhante.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Bhante. I share my merits I collected with you today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you,
Good night,
Bhante.
friends.
Thank you, Bhante.
Good night.
Namaste.
Namo Buddhaya.